I wholeheartedly believe Dota will live for a long time, and I believe the most recent blog post by Valve confirms it. Let's have a look at what they said. Most Dota players never buy a Battle Pass and never get any rewards from it. Battle Pass season has grown to be a tremendously exciting time in Dota, but it leaves the rest of the year feeling barren by comparison. Some updates were successful, some were less successful. This isn't Valve, it can't be. We're definitely not gonna hit the July 9th date listed on Steam. Okay, actually on second thought, wait, no, Valve never announces they're gonna miss a deadline, they just do it. What's going on? Well, I think this blog post right here is the last part of a big puzzle that Valve has been working on for the past 3 years. Dota will get radical changes, and I, personally, think that is a very good thing. Dota doesn't have a lot of advertisements, like other games. Instead, players either get the game recommended from a friend, like a pyramid scheme of pain, or they heard about the international and think, hey, that's a lot of money, I like money, what's this game about? I entered the unforgiving universe of Dota by literally just googling, what game has the most money? That isn't even an exaggeration, that's exactly how I got into Dota. The one thing Dota presents on the outside is the international. Keep that in mind. Ever since 2013, Dota has had the biggest prize pool out of any game in esports. And as much as you want to complain about Valve handling things, Dota has grown a lot. Well, until 2019. The 2019 Battle Pass wasn't too well received. The reasons are many, but it all pretty much boils down to unusually little gameplay content added and a lot of expensive skins added. This, combined with the possibly worst received PvE minigame ever added to Dota, made a certain disdain towards Valve and Dota grow in the community. January 2020 was Dota's worst month in terms of player count since 2014, and let me tell you something, holy shit, people were negative. The most upvoted comment on the state of the game in 2020 was, people are not worried, they just enjoy their last Dota hours and move on. And the more research I do for this video, the more I realize how incredibly pessimistic the loudest voices are. Spoiler alert, Dota not only survived but actually grew. Now, 2020 was a very interesting year for Dota. Again, Dota's player base had been declining, and even the thought of cancelling the essence of Dota, the international, probably terrified both players and developers. Despite this, the international was indeed cancelled. And what happened to Dota's player base during 2020? Absolutely nothing. It even grew a tiny bit. There was still a Battle Pass though, so maybe that's what kept Dota alive, hanging by a thread. So what did Valve do in 2021? Well, of course, the international was due, but Valve decided to scrap the Battle Pass this year. Okay, there was technically something that's kinda like a Battle Pass, but all of the focus was on the very popular PvE game mode, Agrim's Labyrinth, so it doesn't really count in my opinion. So 2021 was the opposite of 2020. We got the international but no Battle Pass, and this year went even better for Dota. If I were to speculate, I would guess Valve at this point started to begin considering phasing out the Battle Pass. But I think what happened next kinda shocked everyone, honestly. In 2022, Valve decided to give away the Battle Pass for free, as well as an Arcana of your choice. The Arcana works as a pretty good substitute monetary-wise for the rewards a normal Battle Pass user usually gets, so this gift from Valve was pretty much equal to removing the Battle Pass and giving the rewards away for free. Of course, the majority of players were probably returning ones, but this was the second time in 8 years Dota's player count exceeded 1 million players. 8 years. This spike was of course temporary, but I think it changed Valve's perspective. In 2023, they've decided to experiment by taking resources from the Battle Pass and putting it into other content spread out over the year. We're now halfway into the year and Dota stayed pretty much the same size throughout. Focusing on improving the map, UI and other quality of life changes will probably not give the same short-term spike as big events or battle passes, but I'm certain long-term it will be better for the game, and it would surprise me a lot to see anyone disagree. So let's see what people are actually saying.
So here goes nothing. I think Dota 2 will die by the end of 2023. The game is nowhere near as good as it used to be, refuses to keep up with modern gaming standards, and has the most lackluster, lazy, pathetic, and out-of-touch game developers of all time.
What the fuck? This is not even ironic or anything. And you thought I was exaggerating when I said the Dota community had very loud negative voices. So, in order to counteract that, here's a more positive, less sensationalized outlook. First of all, and this might just be marketing and PR management, have a look at this sentence in the blog post. So we'd like to take this opportunity to share with you our thoughts on the long history of Dota updates, what we've learned, and how that helps our plans to make Dota even better in the decade ahead. It's completely fine if you want to say I'm overdosing on copium, but I would be very surprised if Dota is dead within 10 years. Now, whenever this discussion comes up, you need to talk about the elephant in the room. Team Fortress 2. I enjoyed TF2 a lot a couple of years ago, but stopped due to the bot crisis, which is undeniably a result of Valve's neglect. What stops them from doing exactly the same with Dota then? Well, as much as this hurts me to say, ignoring the cultural impact and everything, TF2's player base and financial motivation is negligible compared to Dota. Dota's monthly player base has always been around 10 times as big as Team Fortress 2's. And just looking at how many players are subscribed to Dota+, Dota must be a lot more profitable and scalable for Valve. Dota has arguably the most rich and long history out of any digital game, and even if Valve somehow decides to kill their golden goose, we can sleep well knowing there will always be ethically questionable oil money ready to pump the entire League of Legends prize pool many times over into this 20-year-old farming simulator. If there's anything you should be worried about, it's that our esports scene is becoming more and more reliant on gambling and crypto companies for funding, and I'm sure that won't lead to any issues long term. But that's for another video. Good luck in your pubs, stay positive, and I'll see you in the next one.